June 6, 1944, Normandy, France. The first light of dawn glimmers across the churning waters of Omaha Beach. At 6:47 a.m., the surf is painted red. Corporal James Mitchell watches in horror as yet another demolition team is shredded by explosions. The spray of seawater and shrapnel forms a deadly curtain. Another Teller mine has claimed 5 more men. Every wave of men seems to vanish into the chaos, swallowed by German engineering and relentless fire. Mitchell's commanding officer, Captain Robert Hayes, crouches beside him, shouting orders against the roar of artillery. Their orders are simple but lethal. Clear a 50-meter corridor through a minefield before the next wave of soldiers arrives, in just 14 minutes. At the pace they are moving, every man will be lost before even reaching 20 meters. The statistics are grim. Of the 16 Navy demolition units landing in the first wave, 12 have suffered casualties over 60%. The German defenses are meticulously brutal. 4,000 mines across 5 beaches, each a silent killer buried under sand, waiting. Standard procedure calls for engineers to crawl forward with bayonets, probing at precise angles until metal is struck. Each mine requires 3 to 5 minutes to detect and neutralize. The math is merciless. They lack the men, and they lack the time. What Captain Hayes does not know is that, just 100 meters away, a 22-year-old private from Iowa is about to rewrite the rules of warfare. Thomas Becker. No formal engineering training, no explosive certification, no reason to be near a minefield. And yet, in the next 6 hours, his intuition and ingenuity will save an estimated 200 Allied lives. The Teller Mine. 11 pounds of deadly TNT concealed under 12 pounds of steel, detonated by just 200 pounds of pressure. A masterpiece of lethality perfected over 5 years. From Norway to Greece, these hidden killers claimed thousands. By June 1944, the Allies had tried everything. Bangalore torpedoes that sometimes triggered mines, mine-sniffing dogs that panicked under artillery, and long poles to probe manually, which slowed detection to 7 minutes per mine. At Anzio earlier that year, this method had cost a full day's advance. Field Marshal Erwin Ramm personally studied reports, ordering denser minefields. In May 1944, 1 month before D-Day, 23 Allied demolition experts convened in Portsmouth. Colonel Arthur Trudeau of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers led a review of every mine detection method. Their verdict? No existing technique allowed rapid clearance under combat conditions. Casualty projections for demolition units exceeded 75% in the first hour. The consensus: fast mine detection was physically impossible. You could either probe carefully and survive, or move quickly and die. No middle ground existed. Private Thomas Becker should not be on Omaha Beach. He should be in Iowa, running his father's dairy farm. Born March 1925, enlisted March 1943, and assigned to the 146th Engineer Combat Battalion due to a clerical error. Farm equipment operator misread as heavy equipment operator. No engineering degree, 6 weeks of basic training at Fort Belvoir, and instructors noting initiatives but lacking theoretical foundation. What Becker had was practical intelligence honed on the farm. Broken equipment? Fix it. Stuck cows? Extract without injury. Storm-threatening harvest? Solve fast, solve smart. At 6:52 a.m., just 5 minutes after another demolition team falls, Becker crouches behind a disabled landing craft. Watching another engineer inch forward, sweating and terrified, he has an epiphany. Equipment scattered, seawater rising, his mind leaps to a simple solution. He grabs a standard-issue galvanized steel bucket, fills it halfway with seawater, and observes the sand as water flows. Disturbances appear where objects are buried. Density differences become visible. He has discovered a way to see underground without touching a single mine. Becker works without permission. He fills bucket after bucket, moving in a grid, marking anomalies with driftwood. 3 meters ahead, water pools oddly, another potential mine. 5 meters forward, another anomaly. Corporal Mitchell approaches, expecting to find another casualty. Instead, he finds Becker calmly mapping the minefield with seawater. "What the hell are you doing?" Mitchell shouts. "Detecting mines," Becker replies, eyes fixed on his task. Not in the manual, yet undeniably effective. Within 10 minutes, 6 men join Becker's system. Each anomaly is probed carefully. Every teller mine confirmed. Captain Hayes arrives, furious, witnessing soldiers advancing through a minefield with nothing but buckets. Becker calmly explains, "It works, sir." Skepticism collides with proof as 0 casualties validate the technique. By 10 a.m., Becker's teams have cleared 3 corridors through Omaha Beach, detecting 43 mines, saving countless lives. Word spreads. By noon, engineers at Utah Beach adopt the method. By evening, British forces at Gold Beach follow suit. On June 8th, Becker is summoned to a French farmhouse headquarters. Colonel Trudeau, Major Pike, and other senior officers demand an explanation. Becker describes water revealing density differences, visual detection faster than tactile probing. Major Pike objects. "This contradicts mine detection theory." Becker responds, "I've cleared 43 mines, 0 detonations. Anecdotal evidence, yes, but dramatically better than approved methods." Trudeau intervenes. "We either court-martial him or adopt his method." It works. The technique becomes standard, effective immediately. Becker trains other engineers. Within weeks, every Allied engineer battalion uses water flow detection. June 6th through 30th, 1944, traditional methods detect 4.2 mines per hour with 12% casualties. Becker's method detects 11.7 mines per hour with 1.3% casualties. The bucket technique saves an estimated 180 to 240 lives in Normandy alone. Adaptations follow: roads, forests, even snow. By August, the technique is universal across France. Operation Market Garden sees British engineers clearing 127 mines in 6 hours, with only 3 casualties. Becker's legacy grows. By war's end, Becker's method clears an estimated 40,000 mines across Europe and the Pacific, reducing engineer casualties by 67%, roughly 2,000 lives saved. Faster mine clearance accelerates Allied advances, shortening campaigns by 4 to 6 days. Becker receives the Bronze Star, French Croix de Guerre, and British mentions. He rarely speaks of the war, returning to Iowa to run his father's farm. The bucket technique endures in military manuals and training, and is even improvised decades later during operations in Iraq. Thomas Becker dies in 1984 at age 62. His obituary briefly notes military service, omitting the revolutionary bucket technique. Yet the military remembers. Water flow mine detection is still taught at Fort Leonard Wood. MIT studies it as a case in practical innovation. Museums display Becker with his bucket, a symbol of simple solutions to complex problems. The lesson transcends war. Question assumptions, act boldly, and value practical intelligence. Sometimes the most profound innovations come not from labs, but from a farm boy, a bucket, and the courage to do what must be done.